We have good news always. It's a beautiful day that the Lord has made. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you. And don't forget to like the live. Let's push the algorithm so we can find other people. All right, very good. All right, guys, welcome to Review Uncensored. Today is the 30th of August, last day of the month. I hope you guys had a great month, a beautiful month, really. I know a lot happened, but God is good, and we keep our hopes high. We trust and we believe in God. Good news every day. There's always good news. So, guys, keep your hopes up. Be positive. God is good. Please don't forget to like the live. Let's push the algorithm quickly so we can invite others. Oh man, it's a beautiful day, and welcome to our night show today. My name is Rumbi here on Rumbi Uncensored. It's our broadcast. I'm super excited. Today we are going to be looking at the coup that actually happened recently in Gabon. Today, actually, and also checking in with what's happening in Zimbabwe. Lumumba today went on Twitter and he posted a video that I want us to go through together, and we can learn more on the politics that are going down within ZANU-PF. And welcome everyone. Thank you. It's a beautiful day. All right, so I'm going to start by this incredible tweet. You remember yesterday we spoke about the visitation of the elders in SADC. They are in Zimbabwe as we speak. So I'm going to read a tweet that was sent by Walter Muzembe. That's my introduction. He said the smart one seems to have refused to enter the pigsty. That is JM Kikwete. You can never come out of ZIM electoral politics clean as a facilitator or mediator. The solutions are within. They require political will, wisdom, astute leadership, and submission to national interests. Neighbors cannot change our diapers. How many people agree to the statement? Like, I've always used this analogy. I'm a fan of family, and I also love marriages quite a lot, and I respect them. But I've realized that until couples work their issues out, if they're having challenges, no one else can help. Be it family relationships, until as a family you decided to change your behavior, nothing will ever change. You may have issues, neighbors will come and counsel you. Church can try as well. Professional therapists can try. Until you take full responsibility of working out your own issues, you will never change. Very dangerous in life. And we can all pull that analogy to Zimbabwe. Until us Zimbabweans sit down and resolve our internal issues, nothing will change. Absolutely nothing. Because the problems are within, and it's going to take us to change them. Because as far as I can remember, Zimbabwe has always had drama since, I think, for years. Remember, Thabo Mbeki came in to facilitate, and I also heard Walter Muzembe confirmed that when they were expelled from ZANU-PF, during the Coup 2017, they also spoke to ANC, which ANC, they're very close to ZANU-PF. So they spoke to ANC and asking them to speak to Mr. Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF so that they can also rejoin ZANU-PF, and ZANU-PF refused. So we are dealing with people that are not willing to change. They are not willing to change. And it's very sad, but it is the reality, right? People who are not willing to change. Until we take full responsibility of our personal lives, nothing will work. Nothing will work. It takes you and me to fix Zimbabwe, all right? We have to fix it within. I also love the fact that when he sent out that tweet, he actually tagged E.D. Mnangagwa, the president. He tagged Nelson Chamisa, he tagged Honorable Kasukwire, he tagged SADC and African Union. It's a fact. It is an embarrassment that we need to have to invite delegates to always try to bring harmony among Zimbabweans. It's a shame. It is definitely a shame. We have South Africa. South Africa has issues, yeah, but they've learned to speak within. You know, and I remember this when Jonathan was having an interview with SABC, Sophia Mkwena. He said, it's only Zimbabwe where people have to seek external intervention. Other countries don't do it. You know why? Because they have learned to deal with their issues within. But I guess ours is more complex. And I'm going to tell you why it is more complex as we go ahead with our show tonight. Interesting. So now we're going to move forward. So power, we all know, is very temporary, right? Power is temporary. And Alina posted that today on Twitter. You know Ali Bongo, right? The ex-president of Gabon, right? The coup pushed him out of power. It's very sad that you have to wait for people to push you out. So, but let me give you a bit of a background. So Ali Bongo's daddy was a president for Gabon for 42 years before he handed over power to his son. A mistake right there. Just because you're called to be a president or a leader doesn't mean that your children are also called to be leaders. You've seen it happens in churches as well. Because your father is a pastor doesn't mean that you're also a pastor, or your mother is a pastor. No. You may be called to be a pastor, you may be called to be an engineer, a mathematician. But people think as long as power is within their compound, they also deserve danger there, right? Mistake. So for him giving power to his son, very sad indeed. But I would like you guys to take a listen to what he had to say. And bear in mind, guys, I'm going to be using audios rather than videos. So please be kind. But I want you to take a listen to what he had to say today. Very sad indeed. Very sad. Very sad.
I want to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world, to tell them to make noise, for the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence, and nothing happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you. Thank you.
I want you to listen to it again, and I've got reasons why I want to repeat it. Take a listen again.
And I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world, to tell them to make noise, for the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence, and nothing happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you. Thank you.
All right, so he's asking people to make noise because the army has arrested him. He's under house arrest. It is asking people to make noise. These are the same people that do not allow the citizens to actually go in the streets. They do not want that. But he wants now people to make noise on his behalf, right? Ex-president of Gabon. His dad ruled Gabon for 42 years, and he took power from him. He also ruled for 14 years. And what happened this past weekend? There was Ballot coup. He rigged an election. He rigged an election. I'm going to repeat. He rigged an election. And now he's crying for help because the army has arrested him. I cannot begin to fathom how these people really think. Can you see the selfishness? Guys, don't forget to like the live. Can you see the selfishness? You forget it's the same man who switched off internet last week. He switched off internet for citizens so that he can rig an election. Are you guys surprised? Can you just actually see the similarities of these dictators? How they treat human beings. They treat human beings like animals. These people were living a lavish life while the masses were suffering. Does that sound familiar to Zimbabweans? I'm saying, what's happening today in Gabon, does that sound familiar to you, my brothers and sisters? When Edie and Chiwenga, a VP, took power in 2017 via the coup, their introduction was, we're taking the power because there are so many thieves that are looting resources for the country. Immediately after this, we all took to the streets, the whole of Harare. But a man of wisdom was Magaisa. Magaisa was like, hey, a big mistake right there. Most of these coups, people that implement them have their own personal agenda. But why people end up going through the route of coup? It's desperation. It's desperation. They need to see change. They want to see change in their own personal lives. But then these dictators keep on suppressing them. Messing up with the will of the people. And before you know it, people find plan B. I'm telling you, people will think of plan B. Very sad to watch. He wants your help today. He's crying for help. He said, please, the whole world make noise. Oh, we should make noise on your behalf. When people are making noise that they were looting, the state's resources, you think people were crazy, right? When the masses were crying for hunger, you thought they were crazy. Now today you need our help. I'm sorry, I don't think I've got mercy on these people. I have no mercy. I'm a firm believer that when you sow evil, it's a matter of time before you reap. Yes, it's a law of sowing and reaping. And this is to remind my brothers and sisters today who are in ZANU as we speak, that committed their Ballot coup recently, that your day is coming. As a matter of time. And time will deal with that. Your day is coming. Let me just say this. I've learned, and I'm saying this honestly to my brothers in ZANU of my sisters, that what is happening around you, they're simply signs. You know what God does? Because He's a merciful Father. He shows you signs. There have been a lot of signs that are happening around ZANU in this era to say, stop what you're doing. God is saying, stop what you're doing. God is saying, stop what you're doing. And they keep holding on. Keep holding on. That's when you says, okay, now I've done my part. I've given you the chance. Now let me give the power to the people. And you'll see what people will do. They will react and they will act. It's a matter of time. And time will deal with that. And that time is going to happen soon than you think. I know you're busy preparing for inauguration, but the time is coming when the people will take the power from you if you don't do right. All right, so we're going to read a tweet from Trevor. He said, African coups via the ballot box are an invitation for Africans to change governments by any other means. These things not be that way at all. Bongo shut down the internet during recent elections in Gabon. Did you hear that? Now he's using the same internet to appeal for help. I cannot think of more profound irony. And I'm going to say to ZANU-PF, I cannot think of any irony, because I can see where this is going. I'm watching. I can see where this is going. If you don't give up, God will force you to do so. It just takes wisdom sometimes to do what's right. All right? Yeah, it takes wisdom. Fikile Mbalula being Fikile Mbalula, as wicked as he has become, but we know he's got interest in Zimbabwe. This man wears a watch of 1.something million. So definitely the dude has to be getting some stuff in ZIM. So he said he won't support the coup. He thinks it's not right for people he wants people to respect democratic processes. But it's the same person that is supporting a flawed election that recently happened in Zimbabwe. And now he wants to tell Gabon to stop the coup. But the internet was switched off so that this dude can rig elections. Now all of a sudden he's locked and he's powerless. How selfish can people be? People are very selfish, right? It's a selfish generation. That is no mercy. But God is very merciful. Sometimes you let you stretch. My mom used to use this scripture, I want to tell you. It's in Shona, I think, to put it the way that she normally does. Where the Bible says that, Maketa Jesse, Makafunga Shumenda Gafana name, but then Chakuvamburai. It's when people are doing evil. My uncle always say, power ino jimbira. Yeah, may God of mercy extend some to all people to understand that it's just a season and the season will pass. And surely when you sow evil, you will have to pay. And sometimes you may not, you can escape via death. But the Bible is very clear that in children pay because of the sins of their fathers. So the kids will have to pay when parents are gone. I remember, I forgot the country, but the daughter was being arrested and she had a scandal of $1 billion. People don't realize that will come after you for the money that you're looting, will come after you in the right time and forum. And the time is coming soon. So Hopo replied to Fikile Mbalula. He said you don't want to support a coup in Gabon, but you supported one in Zimbabwe. What a joke. Are you surprised? No, I am not. Like I mentioned to you guys, for some reason, Fikile tend to be, I don't know, like, you know, I respected him, but I've lost my respect. He doesn't know that the situation in Zimbabwe is very personal. And whenever he speaks ugly, it really touches your last nerve. You have to pray and say, God, puts me in the corner. I don't have to say something ill here. I have to be nice and sweet. Right, but yeah. So I'm going to read a tweet, a very long tweet that was sent by Hopo Chikono. You know, he loves to break things down. So I'm going to break this down for you as far as Gabon coup is concerned. So he said, meet Ali Bongo, the one that was crying right now, calling people to assist him. The Gabonese dictator who rigged an election 2 days ago and gave himself 64% and was toppled by the military today. He's under house arrest after years of running a corrupt family dictatorship underpinned by a ruthless mafia. He has ruled Gabon for 14 years after taking over from his father, Ali Bongo, who ruled Gabon for 42 years. So these people have been in power for almost 56 years, because I'm very good in math. So quickly, 56, or later, calculate. So this family has ruled Gabon for a total of 56 years. Gabon has manganese, diamonds, gold, uranium, oil, gas, and more. But its people are extremely poor. Crude oil accounts for about 96% of the country's total exports to the United States. Elections are rigged, public funds are ruthlessly looted, the country's natural resources are plundered, and the constitution is regularly changed to suit the Bongos. Dictatorship for you. Gabon is the leading producer of metal in Africa, and it is the 6th biggest world producer of manganese. It produces more than 3 million metric tons of manganese a year. It also exports veneer sheets, manganese ore, and crude petroleum to France. Corruption is massive in its mining and oil industries. Ali Bongo personally controls over a billion worth of assets, which are hidden overseas. He is the richest man in Gabon. The Bongo family has routinely changed the constitution to underpin its corrupt rule. A third of Gabonese citizens live below the poverty line. Unemployment is over 37%. His father was close to 5 French presidents, from Charles de Gaulle to Jacques Chirac. So if I don't pronounce properly, just say praise the Lord. Whose companies were happily extracting Gabon's oils, guaranteed security to the Bongo family by maintaining a military base in Libreville that still exists today. Bongo's regime today's opponents and treats critics in a very inhuman way. Does that sound familiar? Zimbabwe Part 2. The regime runs horrible jails with harsh and life-threatening conditions. Zimbabwe in its totality. It is political prisoners and the judiciary is captured. Oh, God. Ali Bongo suffered a stroke years ago, but he remained in power, although he is incapacitated. He has Europeans working for him in his team, including a British man from Manchester, who is a government minister. His name is Lee White, CBE. He is the one that was supporting the switching off of Wi-Fi the past weekend. Yesterday, he was defending the switching off of the internet on his Twitter handle. Like all terrible dictators who don't care about their people, Ali Bongo's father died in a luxurious hospital in Spain, whilst his people were living in poverty, and the country had one of the highest infant mortality rates in the world. Infant mortality rates in the world. In France, he lived a super rich lifestyle with 39 luxurious properties, 70 bank accounts. Did you just hear me? 70 bank accounts, and cars worth over $2 million US. He even bankrolled the presidential campaign for French President Jacques Chirac, while his people were living in abject poverty. Does that sound familiar? He gave money to different French political parties, both from the right and left of French politics. The second wife of his son, who has been deposed, was featured on VHS television channel trying to buy a home worth $25 million in Malibu. Does that sound familiar? Coups are not a great thing at all. So I hope that the military will restore civilian rule through a free, fair, and credible election, which puts final end to Bongo's family grip on this resource-rich country after decades of looting, plunder, and dictatorship. And this is what I've been saying. I don't have a problem if the army can take power right now from ZANU, and we can have free, fair, and a credible election to restore sanity. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not a supporter of coup. I mean, from experience, if we can consider the 2017 coup, that we were literally bled into the situation, we were robbed into it, but today we have nothing to show. As a matter of fact, we are being disrespected day in, day out. But we supported. I remember we had a party and we were dancing in my seat, my brothers. You remember Tonga Kwaru Gamba song? You remember that? Do you? I hope you still do so. Don't forget to like the live, please, so I can push the algorithm. Please help me and like. We need to reach 100 likes so we can push the algorithm. All right, so you must not forget the way we supported the coup. And here we are today, treated like nothing. As a matter of fact, being threatened daily. When you speak the truth, then you subject yourself to torture and intimidation. I will speak about the guy that literally stopped, you know, when they were trying to disable the 666 presser. You remember the guy that stood and was in checked shirt? That guy was taken the following night before his family, and he was tortured, brutally beaten, and dragged. Today he's in the hospital. These are the kind of people that you're going to feel pity for. I'm sorry, every human in Zimbabwe, everyone who have sown evil, they need to pay before they leave this world. If they leave, I pray that their kids pay. They have to pay. And I'm not joking, I mean business, because the pain they're causing in our society is unbearable. And they cannot get away with it. At some point, they have to pay for their sins. It's called a law of sowing and reaping. It does affect everybody, including me. You know, you can manipulate the constitution. You can change any other law, but you cannot change the law of nature. It's called the principles that govern life. Life is governed by principles that should be known. Treat people with respect if you want to be treated well. Treat people with respect. Right? All right, so back to Zimbabwe. We are back to Zimbabwe. Like I said to you guys, the Bongo story that you're seeing here is exactly where Zimbabwe is. And I pray that soon we have the very same move, because we are fed up. We have spoken like human beings. If people don't come to party and do what's right, I think some people have to face the consequences of their actions. It's not me. They chose that lifestyle. They decided to live a ruthless life. They have to face the consequences of their actions. It's not me. I'm not the one who brought them into this world. I'm not the one who sent them to do evil. They chose that life of evil, and they have to pay for it. That's how it works. Now, back to Zimbabwe. I came across a video that I want you guys to listen to. There are reasons why I want you to listen to it. That was done by Lumumba. I came across it on TikTok, and this is referring to our recent elections. He was trying to shed some light that, do you guys know who actually did elections? Say, do you know who did the elections for you? But there's a video that I want you guys to listen at the end. Very important video. I want you to listen to it. It was done by Musike Kane, and it will help me to tell you what I need to tell you today. So Lumumba said, so I'm trying to open his video so you guys can listen to what he said. Listen very carefully. It's very important for you to understand what's happening in Zimbabwean politics. Please take a listen.
If you don't know who Ambassador Isaac Moyo is, that's who you need to know.
Isaac Moyo.
Let me help you understand. Before he was appointed to be CIO Director General, Ambassador Isaac Moyo is stationed at the African Union Post Command, looking after the intelligence office at the African Union headquarters. Let me tell you why that is important. When you get into situations like this, do you know who is talking to each other? The intelligence organizations of every country. So the South African intelligence is talking to the Zambian intelligence, is talking to the Malawian intelligence, is talking to the SADC intelligence, is talking to the global intelligence community. You know who is a master at talking to intelligence? Ambassador Isaac Moyo. Let me tell you this. You're not going to beat him at that job. Oh, no chance. In fact, Ambassador Isaac Moyo, just like the late Dr. Maunganidze, was one of President Robert Mugabe's blue-eyed boys, proficient at energy counterintelligence, impeccable in the order of merit when it comes to understanding the operations of an intelligence organization. You know who is also talking to him? The intelligence operations from America, the intelligence operations from the United Kingdom. When they speak industry language, they understand each other. He knew that 5 years ago that this day was coming. I want you to know, that's the man you want to pay attention to first. I haven't said why. I just want you to pay attention. Let me tell you the second situation. Here's the second situation. 2013, was it? Yeah. That election was run, let's start with 2008. That election was run by the military. When an election is run by the military, the only tool in their toolbox is a weapon. That's why that election was full of weapons. Then 2013, that election was run by Jonathan Moyo. What was the result of that election? When the election is run by a politician, the result is evidently political. That's Jonathan Moyo's election. Then you have 2018. That election was run by the war veterans. That is why you had the result that you had. Now you have 2023. The election is run by their intelligence. That's why the result is intelligent. Demarcation of boundaries to demarcate a constituency to make room for gerrymandering does not change the number of the votes. It just changes the dynamic of the constituency makeup and frameworking. You know that, right? Of course you do. You're smart. You are smart. Smart people. Clever people who are on Wi-Fi for 3 fucking hours and you're now political scientists, huh? Dummies. Anyway.
All right. You just heard Mr. Lumumba telling you about how important Mr. Isaac Moyo is. He says Isaac Moyo is the intelligent man. When I hear this video, because like I told you last time, I wasn't listening or even following up these Zimbabwean elections, but I started last year. How and why did I start it? Because I was so fed up of seeing people suffering every time I travel home. I would see people suffering in my heart. I was like, no, I need to play a part. I need to do something. I can't keep on complaining. I need to rise up and play a part in our society. That's why I started following politics in Zimbabwe. So when I heard about Isaac Moyo, I was like, no, I don't even know who this person is. So I went straight to the internet so that I can be able to understand who Isaac Moyo is. And I came across an article. This article was written in 2020. I want to go through this article with you. It was written by Africa Confidential. And it was published on the 6th of August, 2020. Let's go through the article. It says, Mnangagwa in search of enemies. That's the headline. After 2 years of dangerous drift, military officers and state officials are covertly talking to oppositionists about the president's exit and the transitional authority. The extraordinary morning broadcast by President Emmerson Mnangagwa on the 4th of August reinforced the national sense that its legitimacy is eroding as fast as the value of Zimbabwean dollar. Heading a government which has detained some of the region's best novelists and journalists, abducted and tortured opposition activists, Mnangagwa warned citizens about the bad apples that have attempted to divide our people. Good shall triumph over evil. Those divisions are festering at the heart of his government. A week earlier, at a meeting of a Politburo, the 50-strong policy-making board of the ruling Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, Mnangagwa called on Isaac Moyo. So Mr. Isaac Moyo is popping this important man that Lumumba is alleging he's an important man. So I quote. Drink some more. Mr. Moyo, Director General of the Central Intelligence Organization, to report on a destabilization plot claimed to have been run by Cleveria Chizema, a Politburo member, and Tendai Savanu, a former MP from Bahrain. Moyo explained that the plot showed collusion between dissidents within the ruling party and opposition activists, whose aim was to drive Mnangagwa from power with a campaign of mass protest. Moyo claims he spies and discovered stocks of posters and placards calling for the toppling of Mnangagwa and praising his deputy former Army General Constantino Chiwenga, stashed at the homes of the party dissidents. According to Moyo, after Mnangagwa was forced out, the plan was that Chiwenga would preside over a national transitional authority committed to constitutional and economical reforms and free elections. In other words, a classic palace coup, an ionic rewaking of the purge that Mnangagwa and Chiwenga had jointly organized against President Robert Mugabe in November 2017. Complicity. As Moyo explained the details of the plot against Mnangagwa to the Politburo, Chiwenga, just back from other medical checkup in China, that was the time, looked on impassively. Neither Moyo nor Mnangagwa accused Chiwenga of complicity in the plot from which he was meant to benefit, but the implied accusation hung in the room. The only action following Moyo's report was the suspension of Chizema from the Politburo for dereliction of duty by not reporting the delivery of her house posters calling for Mnangagwa's overthrow. The claimed uncovering of his plot set the scene for a crackdown by police and special forces commanders on the opposition's anti-corruption demonstration on 31st of July. A 2,000-strong unit known as Ferret within the Army's special forces has abducted and tortured activists, the latest being the nephew of Mduduzi Matutu, editor of the ZIM Live website, one of the leading local newspaper operations. Police also arrested and detained author and filmmaker Tsitsi Dangaremba and opposition spokesperson Fadzia for holding protest placards in the Borodo suburb of Harare. In the township's raids on houses and meetings by the Ferret unit, were far more brutal. Some of the footage was relayed on social media, triggering the Zimbabwean Lives Matter campaign taken up by national artists, athletes, and musicians. It is spreading across Africa, further undermining Mnangagwa's standing. Economic conditions in Zimbabwe with inflation at over 700%. Yeah, I don't know. Why am I calling these figures? Okay, so I think I deserve to have 700,000 right now. 700% a year, and the value of local dollar and free fall after a money printing blitz by the Reserve Bank, driving more desperate nationals to flee. And in neighboring Malawi, newly elected President Lazarus Chakwera has publicly backed the Zimbabwe Lives Matter campaign that may owe more Mnangagwa's endorsement of his opponent in June's election rerun, Peter Mutharika. It's a very long, but I was looking for this part. You know why it's hard for people to actually do the right thing in Zimbabwe? I don't think the people that are right now in ZANU-PF, God help me, I wish I could sit around the table with them and get to understand what's really happening. These people are not after leadership. They're just after what they're getting and the power. Backbiting, conspiracy. You see, you can see when you're in your working environment, for those that have been or that are employed right now, right? You may be running business, some of you are employed in corporate spaces. We have seen that the moment gossip, backbiting, conspiracy start, everything goes south. Until we're honest with one another in Zimbabwe, nothing will work. When we talk about leaders, it may sound like we are talking about politics. We are not talking about politics. If we truly want to live peacefully in Zimbabwe, and I'm talking to people who are in ZANU-PF as well, you're part of the political party, which is incredible. It's your right to affiliate yourself with any political party. But I guess our challenges in Zimbabwe aren't even political. They're not for political parties. They're actually more to do with the Zimbabweans. So you have all the people at ransom because of personal interest. And the personal interest that you're after are simply material. So some of you are after money, after houses. You know, you've heard about, the president for Gabon, ex-president, so I speak, how much houses and how rich he is. And I quote, Jonathan Poe says, Mr. Mnangagwa is the most richest man that you don't know in Zimbabwe. These were a few years back, before we talk about minerals, but now they're very much linked to so many minerals, which means they're even more richer, even maybe multiplication as we speak. And most people who are in ZANU-PF, you look at them and look at them like they're rich people. It's just that I don't glorify material things. So when you're seeing riches, I'm seeing curses. So that's the difference. So it's hard for me to say, oh, this person is rich. I'm a firm believer that if you are not working for something, if you're not doing right, you're not rich, you're simply poor. What makes people run after material things is poverty mentality. Because each and every one of us is called for a purpose, and we should all pursue purpose, not things. And then things follow us. But I guess the problem that we're having in Zimbabwe is we have a generation of people who are pursuing material things, not purpose. That's why there's confusion daily. Because if each and every one of us was focusing on purpose, we won't be fighting. There won't be backbiting. There won't be conspiracy. We will appreciate each other as we are and understand that you may be stronger than I am. And I don't have to hate you. You may be very good in running a clothing company. It may not be my calling, and I will admire and I will buy your stuff and I'll wear them and I'll appreciate you. All right? And I may be speaking the way that I speak and you come and listen to me. Or maybe whichever business I do property. You may come and buy from me. And I appreciate that, right? The problem that we are having is we are following the wrong people. I guess people don't understand that there's a difference between leadership and dictatorship. You call it dictatorship, I call it evil. People who force themselves in spaces where they don't fit in. That's what we're dealing with right now. Because if these people I genuinely want to serve, we wouldn't be discussing about this. As a matter of fact, we'll be talking about, oh, you know what Mr. So-and-so did in Rwanda. Oh, they just built a new hospital in Rwanda. Oh, they just built a new airport. Oh, yeah, but we are now having an airport maybe in Mashingo. Oh, we have an airport in Kwekwe, actually. Oh, I need to fly to Kwekwe right now. I've got a meeting, and I'm going to have to be in Kwekwe. That's what we should be talking about right now. But no, we're not. We are swimming in confusion, sweeping in chaos, because we are following the wrong people. What they don't realize today, I tweeted and I said, I want to be honest, ZANU-PF, answer me now. Where are you taking Zimbabweans to? No manifesto. What it means is, I have no vision, but follow me. Follow me, but I have no vision. I'm taking absolutely nowhere, but trust me and follow me. Show me any relationship, even family, where there's no vision, it succeeds. Nowhere. Nowhere. Every family you see today, it's either a husband and a wife who are married and they're successful in their marriage. It takes intentionality and a vision. Nowhere. Any human being who's working today, you can never succeed if you don't have a vision. Now, ZANU-PF came in and said, no manifesto, our work is our manifesto. So what I just read for you right now, conspiracies, abducting people, violent there and there, is their manifesto. So what it means is we're going to be subjected for the next 5 years to this kind of thuggery. That's why I said, I wish I would sit down with them and say to them, it's not about politics, it's about life. There's a difference. Zimbabweans have to leave. You can have million houses in the world. You can have cars of all caliber. Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, you can have any car you name, Jaguar. You know, those are car made because I'm not car made. Any car you mean, I don't know if you guys follow, there's a lady that normally does cars. She sells expensive, exquisite cars. Dubai lifestyle that you're all clamoring for. And you still be miserable. How do you know? By the actions. These actions are for miserable people. I was shocked when I saw, I know you know, you can witness that, that they recently had Kiki Bedhouse. There was a home, what's her name? Holy Tain, Kiki Bedhouse, Holy Tain, and also my other brother that used to sing for Yellow, which I don't have a problem with him. He can affiliate himself with whichever political party he wants to. And they were bought new cars. And you saw them flaunting on social media. And they were saying, oh, this is the life that we are living, right? They're showing you poverty mentality. What they don't realize is that the people are stealing their destiny. Maybe Holy Tain was supposed to be the most successful business person in Zimbabwe today. Maybe a millionaire and afford to buy any car that he wants. But he has sold his destiny for a Range Rover. What's the difference between you and a slave queen? You are slave queening in 2023, while other people are pursuing purpose. Confused generation, chaos everywhere. No leadership, but chaos everywhere. You can see, by we have to outsource diplomacy that have to come in to bring sanity in the country. It's a shame, an embarrassment. By just sitting down and say, guys, what can we do to make this country a better country for us, for all of us? No, we fail to do that because we are pursuing what? Nothing. My son name Apple. Cars. Go and check what's happening at the scrapyard. There's nothing. What is a Ferrari? What is a Range Rover? What is a Lamborghini? You know, comparing to life, comparing to purpose. What is a house? I've always said to people, it's simply mud. Madaka nemvura. Amuru kusura mchipondera na Zimbabwe. Madaka nemvura. What is money? What is it? It's a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. It's really a shame. Very sad indeed. Very sad. I guess we are lacking men and women of integrity in Zimbabwe. We are wise. who can speak to our people and say, listen, there's more to life than having a car. But my land, as some are saying they've got houses. We have heard, you remember the Bona issue? That she's got 21 farms, allegedly, 21 farms. What do you do with them? What do you do with them? My dad used to say, go outside and check in the air. No one owns the space. All right? You came with nothing. You're going to live with nothing. As a matter of fact, some of your children would die with taking cocaine because now they are face to face with all these cars. They've driven any car in the world. They're staying in the most expensive house. What's next? They're empty because what they're lacking is purpose. Instead of spending your time training your children and let them understand that they didn't come to this world to collect things. They came into this world to fulfill purpose, to be of a blessing to their neighbors. You're spending your time looting resources that's supposed to cater for the poor and the masses. Shame on you. It's sad. Very sad. I just wish I can sit with these people and speak to them. There's more to life than a car, than a house. There's more to life. There's what's called fulfillment. When you see people who lie to themselves, today I heard Mr. Mtongwa said they don't know who Faz is. He said, oh, stop leaving Faz alone. Even Zeg claimed that they don't even know who Faz is. When you are lying to yourself, it says a lot about your mental capacity. It's not the money. It's you're not living like a psychopath, not a normal person. People call it propaganda. I call it madness. We are dealing with psychopath, made people that masquerading themselves as leaders. They have no clue of what leadership is. They have no clue. Leadership is leading people to say, follow me. Now I want to ask you a question. Where are you going? If you want me to follow you, where are you going? Because I can only follow a person who's going somewhere. And you wake up and tell each other the truth. We are going to spend decades of confusion. We are dealing with people that have nothing to do with leadership. So let's go back to what Lumumba said. He said Isaac Moyo is the most important man in town. So he says the intelligent reigned this past election. And he says that Isaac Moyo is actually the one that is leading the intelligence. When you check the past election, tell me, was there any intelligence applied in that election? You saw Faz, right? Did you see any intelligence there? Anything that has to do with intelligence during the past election? A sham of an election, an embarrassment, expose us to look like we are crazy people when we're not. Was that look like someone intelligent applied their minds on that election? When you check the tables that you saw, right? You saw the tables that you saw. Those ones. You saw the old people that they took from the rural areas. I bet you, God knows my heart, I lie not. Those people, if they were paid $100, please, I'll lay my life. No. Those white, small, little dirty tables, does that look like people that are intelligent to you? So I don't know what Lumumba is talking about. Don't try to confuse us because we are not confused. We're very much, we're not confused. We are not confused. We are not confused. Very sad indeed. Very sad. And it's trying to confuse Zimbabwe. You know, like I've always said, they want to appear like they're big people. Everywhere they go, they want to, you know, feel us. If you are moving around and ask people to feel you, you have nothing else to show. You literally have nothing to give. That's what you're looking for. If you are impacting life, you don't even need to push people to say, hear me out. Let me give an example. Today, I later say to me, I'm fed up of seeing ZANU-PF try to convince people on Twitter that so and so have wished the president congratulations. I'm like, huh? When did we start seeing you guys following every president to say they've said something about the president? To an extent where they are not fraudulently write articles. I saw one that they claimed that VP Chiwenga congratulated Mr. Mnangagwa. I went, I said, let me see and read the article. There was no article. It was simply just a headline. Lies and lies and lies. They're trying to buy the attention they do not have, the name they've lost, the identity they don't even have. If people have to come, listen to me, and I'm going to tell you now, my brothers and sisters, if you're a married person, if you're a single person, whether you're married or single, because it applies to everybody. If you're in a marriage, and I've always said to my family, the day you see me picking up my phone, when I'm married because I'm single, and phone my daddy or anybody about my husband, know that it's not me. It's not me, because I don't need anybody to do things for me. I can stand for myself. I can build my house. I can build my home. But if that fails, I know what to do next. I know what to do next. The moment you start seeing everyone comes into your marriage and be saying stuff, it says a lot about you. Something is wrong with you. You lack maturity. That's what it means. The fact that the whole SADC can come to convince Zimbabwe to settle their issues, it's a shame. It's an embarrassment. The fact that we look at our brothers like they're enemies. In 2023, we still talk about a puppet from the West. In 2023, do you think that America is stopping now, flipping money as we speak, America exchanging, they're closing deals? Think about Zimbabwe. Are you telling me that those billionaires are stopping closing deals because of Zimbabwe? And you are the one who went to pick up Mayweather to come to Zimbabwe just to kick out that boxer thing. He was kicking up. You are the one who's just doing your drama when everyone is watching. Until you go back to basics, nothing will work. And you are sinking in shame daily. And you rise up and change your ways. And it's possible. It's not too late to be right. My dad always said, it's not too late to be right. If I want to go to Gabon, there's a road that I need to take. But if I find myself in Pretoria, yeah, I'm on my way to Polokwane and I'm on my way to Zimbabwe, I'm going to turn, right? I will turn. My brothers and sisters, you can turn. It doesn't make you bad people. As a matter of fact, you walk out with so much pride that we've done it. We can fix Zimbabwe together, we can. But if the moment we need the whole of people to come to sit down with us, this is not the first time. It's not the second time. Something is wrong. I wanted to listen to a video that was actually presented the time of Marikana by it's Advocate Muzi Kakane. I want you to listen carefully. It's a very short video, but very powerful. It says something that I don't want you guys to miss. It will change your lives if you listen to it. I want you to take a listen.
This belief that elections are what will free you is not true. When people are corrupt, they control how elections happen. They control the results. They control the judiciary. They control parliament. They control cabinet. They control the media and all levers of power in society. And where do you go? And I'm not suggesting that you should be violent, but I'm suggesting that when those spaces are closed, it's not now, I don't know when, you will feel the pinch. When those spaces are closed for our workers to be human, to get benefits from what they suffer for underground and elsewhere, when our young people know that they have no future under this system, and when those institutions of the state can no longer protect you, it is not a crime to seek other means to overthrow a government. It would be a sin to allow a sinful, evil state to destroy generations while you tolerate it, while you watch. The sin would not be turning against that system. The sin is watching it and tolerating it. When our people are condemned for the next 400 years, this belief
yeah. Something's wrong in Africa, yo. I guess the colonialism destroyed people mentally. It's very sad that young people are stuck. And my only concern and my worry is my children to face what I'm facing today. Let me not hear anybody saying to me that I did not go to war, yo. Because right now I'm fighting a war. Yo, are you guys not fighting a war? Are you not fighting a war today with this regime? Are you not fighting a war? Guys, I saw a blackout from my sister this past election when it went to Gumba. We were waiting, yo. Remember, we were live here? And my sister, she lost her voice. But I was strong because I was expecting anything. I said to myself, I know even if they can mess up, but I know there's always going to be a way out. I'm a firm believer that there's always going to be a way out in every situation. And I've been talking to people, I don't know how many messages that I never replied. And the people think I didn't reply. In my phone, they are pegged almost 3,000 messages. People were saying, oh my God, people were saying, I was like, I'm not going to say a word. And you people also can attest to this. They don't know how much pain they're causing. They don't realize how much damage and trauma they're sowing. These people, they did not ruin Chamisa. They ruined the Zimbabweans. Zimbabwean challenge is not a Chamisa problem. It's not. It's a family problem. It's men they've destroyed that have lost their power in society. It's women that are working, that are not supposed to be at work. Some of them are working like men today. It's marriages that have collapsed. It's young people that have turned to be drug addicts today because they have nowhere to turn. Parents are struggling because within every human, especially men in general, because of the leadership that God conferred in them, they're always content with destiny. Some of them today, there are men that are roaming today's drug addicts who are supposed to be successful business men and women, or owning companies, or working top-class jobs that were ruined by the regime, by rigging an election. And it sounds like it's just rigging. It's not just rigging. No. It comes with consequences. Destinies that are being aborted. There are women who are supposed to be married today, and their families, that the husband that's supposed to marry maybe is in Australia as we speak, and the woman is roaming around in Zimbabwe, she can't find him. And they were supposed to just be in the same place and see each other and get married. It's the impact of their actions that it has on lives. And it sounds like it's a funny thing, but it's a fact. Destinies that they are destroying. Why they value a land, or people are valuing a house, a car. Some of the houses they don't even stay, that are pegged in Dubai. Some are giving man to slay queens. You know why they're doing that? Because they have no peace. Because you know when you lack peace, you're thinking a house will give you peace. You go and loot and buy a house. You're still empty. Now you move, you think, oh, if I buy a Ferrari, maybe I'll have peace. You go around and buy a Ferrari, you're still empty. And you can wake up and say, maybe if I can have another girlfriend from the ones that have got plastic boobs and butt, you go get that person, you're still empty. You may turn around and say, maybe if I can, maybe I need to go there and try men. You're not turning from a man to a gay. You go there and try that one, and it's still be empty. You can run around until your heart is changed. Nothing will work. Susan Mutami's story could have painted a very, very, very clear picture of what happens when you are exposed to dirty money. Susan Mutami's story could have shown you what people do when they're exposed to dirty money. That one woman was able to graze the entire cabinet. One woman. The lack of respect of self. The lack of respect of self among these people because of dirty money. You have all the monies around you. And I remember recently she posted something. She said she can only go with, she said high value men. So that was the explanation on Twitter actually. And I responded, I said, what is your definition of high value men? Because thugs, political thugs are not high value men. They're cursed men. They're cursed. They are their curse. That's why they're living dirty life. That's why they loot money. They're supposed to feed the kids and the poor and the orphans. Oh God. The Queen Gabon will let you see what people do when they are mad. People will turn to vultures. Because human beings by nature, they are created to evolve. Human beings by nature were created to think outside the box, to create, to invent. That's how we're created. So when that is lacking, when we are boxed, when we are suffocated, we find ways to explode. And at some point, people are going to. It's a matter of time. Very soon. That's why I said I wish I could talk to my brothers out there. We are lacking men and women of wisdom to reach out to our people and speak that the material stuff that you're pursuing will take you to the grave. It's not enough to have material things. It's not enough. You need a heart that cares for others. Today, if we were caring for each other, I can tell you, we would all be successful. Zimbabwe will be rich. We were not going to have a problem with money. What is money? What is a car? We would buy any car that we want to. But poverty mentality is keeping us hostage. It's poverty mentality. That mentality of saying, if I don't collect today, tomorrow I won't have. No, that's a lie of the devil. If you don't collect today, tomorrow you have more. As a matter of fact, there's more space to carry more, right? It's understanding that we are lacking as a community. But you heard Moses said, when our people, when they've nowhere to go, when there's judicial capture, when all the state institutions are captured, when people don't know where to go, they'll find a means to overthrow a government. And you know what? God will give them the wisdom to do so. Yeah. Because at some point, God have to make a way for people to move. That's when you said that, oh, God makes a way where there seems to be no way. No. It's because there are hindrances. And the people are saying we need to go through. Like now we all says we need to go through. And some of them are asking, that's Sangam saying, you guys have seen it. They'll ask you a question. One of the most painful, my sister was saying, one of the most painful statement is what Java is saying. And I can't wait for Java's day. I'm sure it's coming very soon. When he says, Sakam Chaita say, no, you're not going to do anything. But something will happen soon than you think. It's a community and the people who are heartless. Who think driving a car, they're just so messed up. Mentally messed up. They don't think about destiny. They think about instant gratification, manipulation. But it's a matter of time. And time will deal with that. Right? Time will definitely deal with that. Guys, you were watching last time, I think you've seen it's an army guy where he's wearing a ballot that is actually torn. You saw it when it was circulating, right? Yes. When I was reading an article, it spoke about the army, that the junior armies are complaining that we are struggling. It's sad. But you have seen musicians being bought cars because they just affiliated themselves with the ruling party. You have seen cars being dished out. But our army people are moving around with ballots that are actually torn. Priorities. How far with the helicopters that they are alleged to spend 320 million US dollars? Our hospitals have no medication, have nothing. That's sad. Guys, tell me where you're watching us from, because it's time for me to send my shout out. Where are you watching us from, please, guys? And don't forget to like the live, because we need to get to 100. You know, like I said, people are going to find means to do what they have to do so that they can be able to live, because we are called to fulfill purpose. Here we are having men and women who are blocking us to fulfill our purpose. We are not in this world to roam around in the streets and doing nothing. No, we were called to fulfill a purpose. So get out of our way now. Get out of our way. We need to fulfill purpose. So if you are blocking us, looting public funds, you are a hindrance to our destiny. We're going to push you. We'll push you. We need to fulfill purpose. Yes, Pretoria is here. Hi, Rock. What do you guys think about what's happening right now with the coup in Gabon? What do you think about the coup in Gabon? Yeah, the winds of change in Africa is coming through. People are done with these liberation struggle parties because we are literally held at ransom. We are held at ransom. Poland, how are you doing, my lady? How are you doing? Hope you guys are having a great time. So please don't forget to like the live, because we need to push the numbers, and also making sure that you share with your buddies, because we wanted to reach as many people. If possible, it must reach the barracks, the police, and the ZANU of brothers and sisters, so we can all have a conversation. Let's not waste time. We have purpose to fulfill, y'all. We have purpose to fulfill. Let's come together and resolve our issues internally. We have the power to do so. We can sit around the table and have a solution. It's time we sit down around the table. The time of always, seek, outsource, counsel, it has to stop. We cannot carry on being the talk of the town. We have the brains. We have all that it takes. Whatever it takes, let's come together and resolve our issues amicably, respectively. Let's stop propaganda and violence. It's not worth it. It's not necessary. There's no need. Let's restore our dignity. All right, Imo Capital. Hi. So you're in Zimbabwe. Hi, Rumbi. How is ZIM? What's happening in Zimbabwe? Are you guys doing well? How is the mood there? Because I know a lot is happening. How is the mood? We really want to have a better Zimbabwe, all right? I hope the elders that are in the country are going to play a role in just bring peace. Ibo Mandaza was suggesting a coalition government. And I think people need to understand that there's a difference between a GNU and a coalition. So a coalition government should be an independent government that we can all choose so they can lead us in the interim while we prepare for elections. That was his suggestion. I do not endorse a GNU. No, I cannot. I think we need to step away from politics, especially if we don't get to have a run. I feel like we need to step away from politics and really say, who are we? We remove our political banners and find the right people, especially cabinet, who are able to do the work for us. And someone was saying, because we still need a leader, so let's find ways to bring that to fruition. Because at the end of the day, this country has to move forward. Young people have to fulfill purpose, y'all. We didn't come in this world to just roam around. People are selling their bodies. There's no need. We need to fulfill purpose. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing? Are you doing great? You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm super, super excited. I literally sometimes spend my day quiet because I need to keep, me pumped for you. So I can come here and speak for about an hour or so, an hour and a half. I need to chill and just, hang out with you guys while we don't forget that this Friday, that coup is awesome, brilliant. What a move by the Gabon. Yes, we if people can't do things right, at some point we need to find a solution to fix the country, especially dealing with thieves. You actually heard that Gabon literally share, they share the same characteristics with Zimbabwe. They're very similar. What we're experiencing today in Zimbabwe is exactly what Gabon was experiencing. The issue of a coup ballot that happened in Zimbabwe happened this past weekend. But you see, they moved very fast. Respect for Gabon people, respect for you for moving fast. Lusaka, Zambia. Hi, Cecilia. How are you doing? Are you doing great? And I know some people here, I just want to tell you, I love ZANU PF people to be here. I love Triple C, any Zimbabwean to come along here so that we can all have a conversation to fix our country. Because when we come together and sit around the table and have solutions, we can move forward. There's no need for us to outsource counsel. We can cancel our source. Our source, we have what it takes. We have brains to talk, right? Hi, Romy, watching from Gabon. Wilfried, stop it. Are you in Gabon? Hard times for Zimbabwe's Gabon did it. Wilfried, for real? I think you're joking. How is it there? How is the mood? What's happening in Gabon? Because I would really want to know what's happening, I pray that they won't face the same dilemma like we did. We celebrated the Coup in 2017, and look where we are today, y'all. Look where we are. Look where we are, guys. And don't forget, on Friday, we are going to be cooking. We said we are going to be in the kitchen with me, cooking with Rumi this Friday. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. And we're starting at exactly 6 p.m. That's the goal. I need to confirm something, but I think I will send a flyer out on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter as well, because I just want us to come and have fun. As a matter of fact, I just want us to chill and hang out so that we don't really, swim in depression. Namibia, Kumbira, how are you doing? How is Namibia? I know Namibia is clean and pristine, very clean. Yo, I was watching a video, actually, of Zimbabwe, pre-independence. Oh, Zimbabwe was clean. Yeah, the policemen, the professionalism. I know there was an issue of Smith mistreating or people. I get that, but Zimbabwe was clean, man. Everything was pristine. I was born in 1983, so that was definitely after the independence. So I really didn't see much, but I also remember that even I think maybe in the 2000s. No, 2000 things were already messed up, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. No. I think prior to that, Harare wasn't, but it was better. But now it's worse. Deteriorating every day. Let's fix the country. Zimbabwe is a small country. We can fix it just like that. Let's come together and stop corruption. And please, let's stop corruption. Dependence syndrome is cancerous. We need to build a Zimbabwe. Hi, Ella, how are you doing? How is United Arab Emirates? How is it? What's happening? How's everybody there? Oh my God, I need to travel the world because I can see there's quite a number of people, my buddies, brothers and sisters, we like all over the place. And I know most people really want to be home. Point of correction will be at nakufarira kupinda kwemasoja takafarira kungobvawo kwa Mugabe. Yeah. I guess we don't want to make the same mistake that we may say. I personally think that we need to get to a point where we have a free, fair, and credible election and choose the leaders that we want. So even if things doesn't go right, we take responsibility, or we are able to remove or to replace. You know what I mean? We need to have systems where if a person does not do the right thing, we impeach. The constitution needs to be revamped. As too much powers for these people. They don't deserve too much power because they're servants. I also don't understand why are they always getting so much power, because these people are serving. They don't own the people. They're just there to serve. There must be that respect of saying, I've done my part and let me respect the next person. I heard that in Zambia, things are going well. ATM are working 100%. No, they are not there yet, but things are going well. And I think one of the things that we also need to remember is that in Zimbabwe that I don't really like is that not only are we talking about the economy, I don't like the culture that we've created, a thuggery culture. A culture of intimidation, a culture of violence, a culture where if you speak this, you're going to be in trouble. You see, like the way that I'm speaking right now, some people will come in and start threatening me. I think I've actually saw a comment where there were threats, but I did not entertain it. I just kept on doing what I was doing. But I saw I saw a comment where someone was threatening me, but because I was focusing on what I was doing, I didn't want to mess up with my schedule. So a culture to threaten your brothers and your sisters, it is wicked, it's evil, it's diabolical. You need to support your people to do well. But if you threaten your people, then what? You know, you should believe in me. You should encourage me to be better than to threaten me. You know, what is that supposed to do? Is that going to make you a better person? You need to stop a life of threatening people. That is diabolical. It's satanism. It's wicked. We can't build a country that does not know how to respect its own people. You know what I mean? Let's have a country that understands the value of loving each other, that invests in caring for one another. We need to understand that some other countries, people are living all day. At some point, we need to stop Zimbabweans. This issue of threatening each other is not godly. It has to stop. Let's love each other, spreading love, spread unity, support each other, believe in each other. That's how success is about. But if we need to stop a thuggery mentality, thuggery behavior. It has to stop, really, so that we can extend some love. You know what I mean? There's more to life than just hating your own. There's more to life. We can do better, y'all. We can do better, brothers and sisters. So it has been such a great time hanging out with you guys. I had a good time, and I'm really grateful that you guys actually to take so much time to be with me. And I want to send my love to you. Shami, just like now, we want to get rid of the regime. We need, whatever it takes, we need to restart. The country is a mess, and we need to work together to fix our country. I know some people will come and say, no, everything is okay. And we say, lie. My main problem is ZANU-PF is like the drinking in the same boho. Ru, hi, Innocent Muzenda. Hi, how are you doing? I agree. I think one thing that I'm so worried about, to be honest, guys, is that I realize that ZANU-PF people, even the youngsters, are tending to be so bad. And which worries me the most, that imagine living a legacy of lies, the lies they tell, notwithstanding that they're on national television. They tell lies that you have to look at. It's like Mr. Muchangwa today was defending FAS. Zek, literally. And I was shocked that if the guy was an army general, what is he doing at Zek? Because he said that he didn't know FAS. He said, no, he doesn't know who FAS is. What are you talking about? So these men don't even have a clue of who FAS is. It's sad. It's very sad. Very sad. It is really sad. And I know we'll come out of it very soon. And very soon, guys. I'm super excited. I'm really thrilled that I had a time with you. And tomorrow we're going to catch up again. We'll meet up here to see what's happening. There's going to be a lot of developments, and we need to check in with the elders as well that came from SADC and see what is it that they brought for us, that we can actually be able to utilize for us to find a common ground so we can build a Zimbabwe that we all want. But again, GNU is definitely not going to be an option for us. Zimbabweans, we need to restart. I pray for a rerun. Some people say it's very expensive, but they prefer coalition. But coalition is great. I think if it is an independent people, that either whichever political party, but what we are trying to do is assassinate corruption. Especially corruption is one of the challenges that we need to deal with heavily in Zimbabwe. And the judiciary also, it needs reforms. Yeah, our police service, the army, reforms. There's just, we are lacking the oneness. We are lacking the familyhood, you know. Two people to listen to, Rumbi and Taffy, the men. Oh, thank you very much. You are such a, it really means a lot. I appreciate you deeply. I do. We are missing the familyhood. We are missing the love for each other, you know, to believe in one another. We are missing a humility. You know, when you're saying, I'm saving. We want to be gods. It's in dinamate so that you can eat. We are going to kutengera motor. Sell your destiny to me. Sell destiny yako. Kutengera motor. And then what are you going to do? Driving a car, maroza, and potholes. I mean, the lack of understanding and the reasoning capacity to see that no, but let's fix the roads. You know, let's fix the road. Not only are we fixing, make sure that we can have 4 ways than having a 2-way that are literally very narrow. I've traveled to Zimbabwe, and that was the worst experience this past 2 months of my life. I hated it with passion. I really want to see 4 ways, where you see streets that are wide, people driving, streets. I know everyone doesn't want the GNU. No, I agree with you, Julius. GNU is definitely a no. Let's have either free and fair election or coalition, where we look for a cabinet, independent cabinet, people that are good at doing the job, that we know they're tested, tried and true, that can run a country where we prepare for a free and fair election that can only be monitored by outsiders. For the first, go, you're on fire. Thanks, Tapio. I think for that election, the first one that we're going to have, free, fair, credible election. And the moment we do that, now we set a precedent. We change our constitution that any person who are campaigning, if there ever be violence in your area, or if you are vote buying, you're going to be disqualified. There must be rules and regulations, and those rules must be followed. And when we're doing that, then we are done. That's wisdom. Then we are done. Someone is talking about GNU. But remember, when they had a GNU with Ngoma, what happened? ZANU-PF they are master illusionists. They will say, want to do this so that you buy into it, and then they turn around. Deceivers, deception is what they use. And I do not think GNU is a good deal. Let's focus on free, fair, credible election. And if people don't vote for you, it means that you're not a good leader. You're not qualifying to be in that place, and respect the will of the people. That's just my personal attack. I don't think that I would even change and accept other means. I don't subscribe to GNU at all. We can't mix darkness and light. Let's clean up the house first. I remember, was it last year actually, when I joined Twitter last year. I wasn't really a social media thing. I remember that was there was this space where business people, so quote unquote, and there was a guy, you always think that he's a businessman, but I don't think he is. Just affiliating himself with looters. That's why he acts like he's a businessman. You know him, man, I forgot his name, but he was there being interviewed, and he said this statement, and he said something about minerals. And then I remember saying this, they gave me a mic and I said to them, I don't think it's wise for any person to go and buy furniture to furnish a dead house and expect it to look good. It does not matter how expensive the furniture looks. You need to clean the house first before you buy furniture if you want to stay in a clean house. Zimbabwe, if we talk about business right now, we are crazy. Let's clean the house first before we even talk about business. We all know it's corruption everywhere. And that is not wise. Wisdom is, let's clean the house first. Let's change our constitution. Let's change our rules and regulations. Let's make sure that we reform most of our state institutions so that we take away corrupt people. If we do that, it's going to make it easier. Even if I want to do business, I know that I can go to any company or any supplier or provider and really get genuine service. I know that I can cross the immigration and I genuinely pay a reasonable fee. I don't have to D someone in order for me to get through. I don't have to pay someone money in order for me to actually go through. I must just qualify to do what I have to do. That's the Zimbabwe that we want to build. Guys, this cutting corners is very toxic. 4 ways, especially the road from bed. Yes, we need to start, guys, we need to actually, it's very sad to actually, like, the people we are dealing with, I don't know, they travel. Yeah, they do travel. When they're buying houses, surely they're viewing those houses. If it is Dubai, if it is Mauritius, if it is in America, I had one bought in Miami, those million houses, I'm sure they're traveling. And they can see how people are doing things, but they can't even maybe at least adopt 1 or 2. They can't. So I don't understand. What do they want to do? What is it that they're doing? If they can't learn, all right? I'm a firm believer that If I'm at work and I'm exposed to some, I should learn to people around me. I've always said that every time God puts you in a situation, like you're talking to me right now, right? You may be learning 1 or 2 things from me, or I may be learning 1 or 2 things from you. That's why we interact. We interact so that we can educate each other, you know. And no one has any valid point. All of us, we are important, and all of us, our points are valid. You know what I mean? So there is a reason why they're traveling all over the world. You can't just go in and shop in, roam around and take pictures in Dubai and come back. You haven't learned nothing. Then to get in there, and when you get there, you really get to understand how other people run countries. And then you will learn and you come back and say, guys, we've seen they're building, or the innovations, 1 or 2, 3 things actually happen in Canada. What can we do to do the same? You know? Oh yeah, I saw these roads are clean and pristine. What can we do to fix our roads? Oh guys, now people are now using bulletproof trains. Can we buy our bulletproof trains for our people? When you evolve as a country, look, when we did this election, we're supposed to do it in a technological way. There was no need for us to be fighting with all this paper thing. It was when people finish voting, everything's entered in the computer, everything is in, V11s, it's done. I remember America, when they voted during the time of COVID, they did it electronic, but they were able to choose a president. But today we're still struggling to actually do my delimitation. Guys, no. Even if it's dictatorship, guys, it's now becoming, it's stale bread or stale food that is no longer nice anymore. So all I'm saying to you guys is, let's keep praying, but there will soon be divine intervention. Zimbabwe is going to be a great country again. Don't lose hope. Joy will come in the morning. So keep your hopes high. I am too. So I love you guys, and I want you to sleep tight. If you're at work today, if you're still, I know we are in different countries, and if it's your day today, if you are actually enjoying your day, I'm saying all the best, guys. And for us here who are almost sleeping, I want to say to everyone, if we have to be sleeping, good night to you. I love you so much. I'll meet you tomorrow. I love you deeply. So sleep tight and enjoy your day further. God bless you all.